Hey everybody, it's Kelsey with Start Loving You. It's our weekly lunch and listen, and I'm so excited to be at a beautiful friend's office, Sarah Hamilton, and her office is called Sarah Hamilton Face, and I'm going to actually walk you through the doors and show you what it's all about. So come along with me. Hi there. Welcome everybody. Here we are at Sarah Hamilton Face.
Welcome, everyone.
There's Sarah. Hi, friend.
Thanks for having me.
Hi there.
This is so fun, yeah.
Hello, ladies. Hi. Isn't this just a beautiful, hi, everybody. Beautiful office.
Okay,
It's
good
always
tour.
so light and refreshing in here.
Our retail space. We're actually doing a little remodel soon.
Oh, it smells so good.
And then here is one of our treatment rooms. This is Dr. Stiller's room and Ashley's room.
And Ashley is Sarah's sister.
Yeah,
And
she's
also a
off
nurse.
today.
Anesthetist.
And
Did
then
I say that
our
right?
little fig leaf. And I think both
These
of
are
these
really
fig leaves-
difficult
I know.
to keep
I
alive.
know.
This is
Actually,
impressive.
Sydney gave me that because
Aw.
it was dying in her house.
Look at the beautiful
Okay. We'll do another.
view.
Isn't that pretty?
So pretty.
And
So
then
yeah, we've got ladies getting some work done in here. Ooh.
here's our laser room
Okay, that's
in use.
so
And
professional.
then another aesthetic room's in use. So hopefully before it's done, we can give you a tour in there.
Perfect.
My room.
Okay, come with me. That's Jessica behind me. We're gonna just sweet little office. Hi.
We're live with Kelsey McHenry today. She's interviewing me of just kind of business goals and being a mom and working and all that fun stuff. So she's with Start Loving You. So follow her on Instagram and Facebook.
Yay.
So, yay.
Let's have
Okay,
a
have a
seat.
seat.
Okay.
I'll let you sit first and then we can kind of.
Again, that beautiful view.
Yeah.
Oh. Yay. Okay. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
So we tried to go on Facebook. We can't figure it out. But you know what? We're here on Instagram, and this is Sarah Hamilton with Sarah Hamilton Face.
Hey guys.
And that's exactly what her handle is on Instagram and on Facebook as well.
Right.
So this is my friend for years and years.
Right.
But
I think
also,
maybe 15.
what I was wondering
I think,
about that.
yeah,
Okay.
quite some time. So.
I don't feel that. That makes
I
me
know.
feel old.
It ages us.
I know. Speaking of aging, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
This gal knows a little bit about a lot, meaning everything that you would need to know about skincare, health and beauty tips, things that can help you age gracefully. What else?
Yeah. I think nutrition's a big part of it too. I think,
Yeah.
internally what we put in our bodies and can definitely reflect our skin. So I think that's a really big, we'll talk about some of that stuff too.
And on a side note, if you can believe it, she and her husband also own a natural food store called Pilgrims. So, and some of you may have seen it if you're local. It's in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So,
that's
I
fun.
want Sarah. I mean, I know her background and her story, and I want her to just maybe introduce her story, who she is, and tell you all about how she got here. This is really impressive.
Oh gosh, well thanks. I don't know about that, but I think everyone has a story, and mine started with actually my passion was nutrition. So that was my main focus. I was 20. Even before that, when I was 18, I remember senior in high school, I wrote a paper on nutrition. That's like, I want to be a nutritionist. So, but towards the end of my Bachelor of Science in Community Health and Nutrition, I remember my counselor said, you really need to be a nurse to be to go into public health and nutrition, or get your dietetics, or get your master's. I didn't want to get my master's, so I applied to nursing school, and I had Sydney, who was 3 at the time, so I got into nursing school and just made it work with a toddler. So that kind of brings back the days of being young, having a lot more energy, being a young mom, and just hammering down and doing it. I knew I had a goal, but somehow I managed to be a mom and work with Sydney too and Joe. So to the moms out there who have young ones, just and you just follow your dreams, whatever it is. I mean, you can do it. There's so many opportunities out there, and just follow your passion. So I started in the NICU in pediatric intensive care, and absolutely loved that. Loved the nurses. I loved the camaraderie with the nursing staff. And then I had an opportunity to work for a plastic surgeon doing injectables, and I thought that might be kind of fun. So took that job 15 years ago and was trained in skincare and injectables, and I've just slowly built my practice up. And then 3 years ago I went on my own, and that was a big gamble for sure, and I thought about it for probably 5 years prior and just never made that step. And so finally I did, and it's been a ton of fun. So that's kind of my, but yeah, and I think too, getting back at like, I think and it's so cliche, but if you really love what you do, it doesn't feel like work, it really doesn't. And in our field here, it's a lot about building relationships with people, and I feel like that's something that we all as a team, my whole team, really thrive at doing, and really, it's not just coming to work and going through the motions, but I think everyone truly just loves all of our clients and patients and stuff. So anyway, so that's my story. I don't know if it's very exciting or not, but
it is. I think it is a really nice thing for people to hear, women especially who are moms, maybe stay at home and wondering what could they do besides staying at home. Is there anything down the road, if they don't feel like doing something now, is there anything down the road that speaks to their heart and a passion that they maybe, kind of left behind when they either had kids or got married, or there's so many things that we put away when we're mamas.
Remember when you started this? Start Loving You. I ran into you at Home Goods, and you're like, oh my gosh, I had this idea. Like, what do you think of getting women together and celebrating each other and supporting each other? And especially moms, especially those of us with little ones at home that just really need an outlet and really need that support. And it's like, look at where you are now.
I remember running into you there. I think it
gives me goosebumps.
I know. I feel like
I was a part of it.
I know. And she was so excited for me. And friends do that for each other too. Just like I was so excited for her when she decided to open Face.
Yeah.
But it is important that that mom tribe. And speaking of which, I literally wanted to bring a bottle of wine because we like to enjoy our wine together, but I figured she probably didn't want to go and do any injectables after
my lunch break. Yeah, those of you coming in this afternoon, you probably
She's good.
Don't. Yeah.
I didn't bring any wine. We'll make up for that later.
Definitely.
I just think it's important that, and that's why, of course, we want to listen to, all of the great ideas Sarah has for the skincare and taking care of yourself, inside and out. But just she's someone who followed her passion, and probably obviously took a while, starting with going to nursing school and having a little one and being married and all those things. And now she's got 3 kiddos, all out of the house, and a grandbaby, which is amazing. And it's just important that we hear these stories, and that's why I wanted to sit down with Sarah and talk to her about it.
Yeah,
so tell me, what is your typical day like?
Well, it usually starts at 4:30. I'm a total early bird, and apparently that's called a severe lark if you study sleep patterns. So it's just, I just love being up early. I feel like it's like that's when I do my best work. That's when I do any writing or emails, or I'd be calling people and texting people too, but I get that it's too early. So that's when I do like all my brain work, usually like before 6. Sometimes I'll hop on, I have a gym at home, so I'll step on, get on the stair stepper, do some weights, definitely drink a lot of coffee. Usually after about an hour and a half or 2 hours I'm up, I'll eat something. And then I definitely like to take my time in the morning and just have that time to myself. And I think it started when the kids were little. It's like I had to get up before anyone else because it was like my peace and quiet. And it's just now the kids, we don't have kids at home anymore, but I still get up, relatively early. And then usually at work by 8:30, 9, a typical day. I usually work in the office 3 days a week in seeing clients and patients. And then the other 2, I would say about 10 to 15 hours of just outside work, working on the business. But my free time, I used to love tennis. I still play a little bit, but not like I used to. Just taking up golf with my husband, which has been fun.
Did you kite surf?
No, my husband's a good kite surfer.
Their daughter kite surfed. Their kids.
Yeah. Michael does some. I have a few times, and I've gone with a coach, like tandem with him, but it's just like it's a big learning curve. So I don't kite surf,
sounds kind of
and I don't
scary.
think I ever will. But So, and then, home 5, but I'm in bed early too.
Yeah, you are an early bird.
Even though I do get up early, I'm like in bed by 9 or 9:30. So I feel like sleep is so important. It's so important for so many aspects of your health. So I'm really big on sleep. It has to be a pretty special event for me to be out past 10. Like, it's got to really be worth it.
All of her friends know
I know,
this.
they all know me. I know. And now it's like I own it. I used to be like a little more embarrassed. Like, now it's like I totally own it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I need my sleep.
Yeah, and then I get teased by some of my friends, and I'm like, I just want to text them at 5 a.m. and I'm like, how you doing this morning? Out until
Look at all the things I've already done.
Right. But anyway, so I think now that the kids are out of the house, I definitely have more time to spend to work. When my kids were at home, it was probably part-time. I worked part-time, almost always, whatever I did. It was like 20 hours a week. And that was max, because as you know, it's hard to, you don't want to miss any of your kids' events and whatnot. But I loved having something outside of the house for me. I felt like it was really important. Anyway, so that's my typical day.
Kind of for your sanity.
Yeah, for your sanity too.
Other than changing the diapers or worrying about that Target meltdown or
meals and all that. And some of my closest friends today, hi Tony and Liz and Stacy, I met when my kids were little, and we put them in the Spokane Club at the daycare for 2 hours. And it was just like a break. And even if we didn't work out, or we did like those aerobics classes, but we would just get together and chat, and it was such a good bonding moment for all of us. And then our kids, we'd be like, okay, it's been 2 hours, I think we should go get them.
You really need to find your tribe, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a working mom, a dad that's staying at home. I actually know several dads that one is a stay-at-home, one works, but his wife is really pretty much the breadwinner and travels all the time. And it doesn't matter who you are, you have to have community or you'll go crazy. So the sanity is to save your sanity. I think it's important for your job reminds me of a dentist in the way where you've got us hooked. So like the dentist, they get you coming back every 6 months, or you hope, to get your cleaning. And for Sarah, and I can speak from experience, I call my Botox vitamin B.
Right.
I'm putting that out there. Yes, I do it sometimes.
I know. We should have made a live demonstration today. We'll do that next time.
Okay, maybe.
Before the wine.
I'd be like cringing. But so we call it my vitamin B. But I think that you've built and it has taken a little while, but you've built such a group following of, and fans isn't the right word because we're patients, but friends too, that they get excited. They know when she has her specials. She's got like open houses with, she's over the top, beautiful food, amazing, everything. It's so fun to come to, and it's always packed full of people, but it's all the same people, and there are always new ones joining. Everybody, is excited to come back and see you every time they need to, and so that just says something about your work and your ethics and your office, the girls. Jessica over here.
You can turn on. I know. We'll have to interview you.
Oh, I know, right? She said she didn't know anything about social media.
If you guys are just joining in with on my live Instagram, I'm with my good friend Kelsey McHenry, and she has an amazing organization called Just Start Loving You, and it's just about finding your tribe, getting women together. She does these amazing events all over the country, and she gets other women together, guest speakers. Her next one's in Atlanta in May. Don't miss it. You guys will be hearing a lot more about it. So we're just doing a fun little interview.
Fun. Yeah. So I've just been just launched this Lunch and Listen, and for those of you who can't watch the whole thing, just turn it on, put it in your ear pods. I call it kind of Kelsey's version of a podcast.
Yeah.
And it sticks around for 24 hours, and if you miss it, well, I'm sorry, but that's too bad because we're having fun. So let's hear. I know that you've got some top 5 tips.
Yes.
Give or take. And we put this in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed to our Start Loving You newsletter email, you should be, because every week we put something out about who our guest is on our Lunch and Listen. So sign up for that on our website.
Cool. Okay.
But
so back to nutrition, I think is super important. And the top 2 things for nutrition is to stay away from sugar or limit your sugar intake, because that really breaks down our collagen. And there's a whole chemical process and how that happens, and I won't bore you with those details, but try to limit the sugar, and then also include good fats. So it's more the anti-inflammatory diet, if you guys have heard of that. I'm not really big into big fad diets like the keto unless you're really trying to lose a lot of weight, because I think being, it's important to be kind of within normal weight, because obesity has all different types of issues too, health issues. I don't think keto is like safe to do long term, but I'm not into fad diets. I'm into whatever you can do to sustain, or what's sustainable. So certain diets, like for me, I couldn't do a low carb diet. I just could never live that way. But I think it is important for our health and our skin to be more towards an anti-inflammatory diet. So anything that will decrease inflammation in our skin or our whole tissue. And we know that sugar increases inflammation, so staying away from sugar, and like back to increasing good fats, because good fats are very anti-inflammatory for our joints, for our eyes, our skin. So so try to include avocado, fish, high fatty fish like high fatty salmon, anchovies if you like those, flax oil, walnuts, nuts. So those two top things more for the skin for internally. And then first and foremost for topically is being on a sunscreen with at least a 5 to 10% zinc or titanium oxide, because it's a physical blocker. So the sun rays it blocks the rays completely, where the chemical blockers absorb the rays, and they don't do a good job against the UVA rays, and those are the aging rays. They penetrate really deep. They come through the clouds, they come through the windows, and that's what causes 90% of our sun damage in our skin, or the UVA rays. The UVB rays, that's when you see like SPF 30, 40, 50, that pertains to the B. And so those are the burning rays, really superficial. You pretty much have to be outside laying in the sun, and you get a sunburn. But the A rays, we're getting hit right now just being in the window.
I was thinking about that.
So if you can get in a good habit of just every day wearing your sunscreen, you can get a tinted sunscreen so it doesn't go on white. There's a lot of good companies out there, Elta, Revision, Skin Medica, Zeo Medical, Skin Better Science is coming out with one, and get into a good habit of just, when you get up, whatever you do in the morning, wash your face, put your sunscreen on. If you have other stuff you like to use, great, but that would be number 2. Number 3, to keep our skin healthy, everyone starting mid-20s should be on some type of retinoid. If there's any such thing as anti-aging in a bottle, it's a retinoid or retin-A. Retin-A is a brand name. It's a retinol or retinoid. And it's a vitamin A derivative, and it decreases pore size, increases collagen, increases skin cell turnover, because as we get older, our skin cells turn over less often. So our skin cells naturally would probably turn over every 40 days. When you use a retinol or a retinoid, they'll turn over about every 30. So our skin cells just act younger. Great for acne, all sorts of things. Google retinols and you'll be amazed. I actually wrote a blog on it. It's on my website. It just explains it really well in lay terms. So, and there's definitely different ones. Like there's hundreds of them. We have about 10 of them, and they all vary in strength. So if you really want to get your skin revved up, get rid of the sun damage quickly, you want a retinoid, which is more prescription, and you'll get some redness and sloughing.
She's always telling me to use this. I'm like, I'm peeling everywhere.
But now we have some really great non-peeling, non-redness retinoids.
Okay,
so
that's the retinoid that is my friend.
Yeah, so the compliance is a lot better if you're not peeling, and I get that. And then, some type of antioxidant. So it's like, why do we eat vegetables and greens and in our citrus? So antioxidants protect our cells against free radical damage. Well, that happens on our skin too. Even as our skin cells turn over, we're creating free radical damage. And we know free radicals break down our elastin, our fibrin, our collagen. So doing topical vitamin C serums, or and it's not even vitamin C, it's just like in our diet world, oranges and vitamin C aren't the only antioxidants. We have a lot of other phytonutrients in food. So we have one that we love here called Alto from Skin Better Science, and also Daily Power Defense is a great one from Zeo. So those are really protecting our skin against the free radical damage, and such good science to back it up. So that's number 4. Number 5, getting good sleep, because everything repairs everything's repairing at night when we sleep. All of our cells, everything's recharged, keeping hydrated. And so that's another big one too, just getting some water intake. And then anything else that's just icing on the cake. If you want to get more damage off, there's lasers, there's there's Botox and Dysport for dynamic muscle movement that's causing wrinkles. So, fillers and sculptors. We have a lot of tools in our toolbox. But for topical, that's just really easy. And I tell people they come in for Botox, but they don't do anything for skincare. And it's like, I would rather see you take your money. No, not you.
I'm learning.
You're learning. You've done microneedling. But honestly, I feel like getting your skin healthy, it's like you go to the dentist to get your teeth cleaned, right? And so people will come in here for a treatment, but then at home, they don't do anything. So it's like not brushing your teeth at night.
Oh, that is such a good analogy.
Isn't that a good analogy?
Oh my gosh.
And it's true. Even and I'm not into all the fancy cleansers, and I have so many of the Clarisonics and all that stuff. I never use them. I still use a washcloth cleanser, take all the makeup off, turn the washcloth over, and then double wash, and that's it. And that works for me.
When I read that on our email that we sent out, I was like, that's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you wash your face twice and just switch the washcloth?
I know, because you think of and then you wash your washcloth, because you think of the Clarisonic and all the other thing. It's like, then you have to clean that, and the bacteria. I don't know. It's just worked for me.
I like this, and I'm gonna tell my kids too, because they borrow my Clarisonic.
Right.
Thinking, I don't know.
I shouldn't say
teenage acne and.
Yeah, it's in teenagers too. It's so fun to see the transformation in the kids that come in with acne, and that getting them on just a couple simple at-home products. Some for your teenagers out there that are starting that, but the pads, getting them on oil control, wash their face, oil control, and maybe a couple little things. It makes a big difference.
I know that Botox is a big hitter in this field.
Right.
What is another top injectable that you use a lot for women?
The Botox is definitely our top. Dysport is getting more popular too, and that's just like a Botox. They're both neuromodulators, so they're just two companies that make each of them. It's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we get a question a lot about, okay, what works better? What's better?
Longer?
There's not one that's better. Yeah, there's not one that lasts longer either. But we do a lot of filler here, and we do a lot of mid-face cheeks, tear troughs, lower face resculpting, lips.
I've seen a few of these. You know how some women get.
Yeah, the temples. We do more Sculptra in the temples, and Sculptra is a collagen stimulator. So it's like a fertilizer for your collagen. So it's like taking.
I love your analogies.
Yeah, I know. It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. It's like food. Food usually is the best analogy. But it's like throwing fertilizer on your grass. It just grows. So we do that. Usually it's like 40 and over. I think Sculptra is best for. It's building collagen slowly, so you get a more natural fill and lift. For injectables, definitely lips, cheeks are really big too. But our lasers are amazing too, and that's when it really changes your skin. Pulling up the browns, pulling up the reds, pulling up the sun damage.
And being able to come down here too, to
yes,
the décolletage.
Décolletage.
I've had it. It really does help.
Yeah, and microneedling is big too. But I always say with your products, hairline down to nipple, or down to the topper.
She said nipple.
That's it. I know that's a little exaggerating, but definitely don't ignore your neck and your chest for sure, and your hands.
Yes.
Your hands definitely, and so the products, you can put the products on your hands. You can do fillers in the hands when you start losing volume. So yeah, so it's fun stuff. But we definitely pride ourselves in natural looking injectables for sure. So my lips look too big now because my braces are sticking them, or making them like fuller, pushing them out. People will, did you get your lips done? I'm like, no, this is not good for advertising natural lips because
braces.
They're a little full and inflamed from my braces. But and Dr. Damon is the bomb if you guys are thinking about getting braces. it's for a bite, but it definitely like widens your smile and shows more smile. Because we get older, our teeth start caving in. And then I had a bite issue. That was the main thing. So
did you? It's funny. I got braces just on my bottom 4 a few years ago because they started getting spaces in between as I got older, and I was actually getting my tongue stuck.
Really?
Yeah, and so I got a night guard thing made so that it would help me, and I noticed that it made my lines a little smoother.
Because it probably pushed them out.
Yeah, yeah.
You have the most beautiful smile
she
and
says
mouth.
that all the
you
time.
do. I am just always in
You're
awe
so
over
sweet.
your beautiful mouth. But
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
She mentioned hands, and I know that seems like a no-brainer. Like, well, any of your product that you're putting on your face, just put a little bit extra on your hands. But until you told me that a few years ago, I never really thought of it. I'd just go like this and walk away. And now I'm like, okay, and I'm putting it here and here. And my hands definitely show my age. Maybe not like other people that are almost 50.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun to watch her Instagram little photos and graphics and things. And sometimes the needles. The needles.
I know.
But it's neat. She's got the before and after hand
the hand
things.
rejuvenation. I have to show you guys. Yeah. So it's just, I know, the needles. And we're learning not to show. My husband's like, you can't show needles in your videos and stuff.
It scared me.
Most people get scared. I'm like, we love it. Like, I think it's so cool. But I can see most people being like a little like, ooh, I can't watch that. But the hand one is really neat because we use a cannula. So a cannula, you don't bruise, and it's a blunt tip needle. It's not sharp, so it can't puncture a vessel. It's more threading, but yeah.
Oh.
So fillers in the hand. Restylane Lift was just FDA approved for hand rejuvenation, so that's kind of cool.
That must be a new one.
There's always something to learn in this field. I think like every field really, but stuff's changing. We're getting a new Halo laser in about 6 weeks. You guys have probably watched some of the posts before and after, but it's more of an ablative laser. So a little more downtime than like an IPL or BBL, but it's more for collagen stimulation, pores, plump, it makes your skin just younger and healthier.
But does it hurt? That's always my question.
Numb.
Does it hurt?
I had it done when it was a week ago. We were down in Boise, and so a week ago today I had it done, and so I feel like it's all healed up. But it was definitely a few days of being a little, red and then like the coffee grounds around that, because it's pulling all that damage.
Right.
Yeah. But we'll do it on you. We should do a live. We should do a live. You're numb.
Okay.
You can do it. It's just like it feels like.
I'll do it. I'll do it for all of you. Do you think I should do it? Does anybody have any questions? I have one more, but does anybody have any questions? I feel like I'm learning so much.
No.
Melinda.
My sister.
Hi, Melinda. Look it. I'm wearing an ear cuff, and I have and my new rings I just bought here.
And I have your jacket that you gave me.
So Melinda Maria, she is actually Sarah's sister, and I'm addicted to her jewelry. So I just bought this new stacker, right? I don't know. I just bought that new stacker. I'm not sure what it's called. I bought it here at Sarah's office. So that's kind of the problem is I come here and it's not a problem. It's a good problem. I get my, my vitamin B. And I walk out, and then I'm like, oh, look at all of Melinda's things, and then I see all of the product, and
We'll show you.
It's like Target. You go in for one thing, and you walk out with 5.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
I know. It's fun to support a friend.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. We should show them the laser room.
Ooh, okay.
We'll show you the 2 other rooms that were in use before we go. But anything else you can think of?
One question, and somebody actually mentioned it, and so I thought, okay, I'll ask. Do you do, or who does, where would you go if you have the armpit sweat problem, which I don't so much?
Yeah, hyperhidrosis. So that's a medical issue. It's just, in layman's terms, it's just, dripping sweat. And Botox is a phenomenal treatment for hyperhidrosis or excessive armpit sweating. It just shuts off the sweat glands. And it lasts about 6 months, and it is life-changing. And it's interesting because most of our patients who get that done are like, 18 to 25. It's like a younger generation. They come in and they wear sweatshirts in the summer because they're just dripping wet. And if they had a t-shirt on, it would show. It's really easy. It's like a few little pokes on each side and you're done. But yeah, and men wearing dress shirts and a lot of times like brides before weddings and stuff.
That's
they don't want to
one.
sweat. Yeah.
I actually know of a gentleman who would get sweaty bum in his suit when he would go to meetings, big meetings, and present. And he gets Botox
Really?
on his
Really?
bottom.
Cool.
And
Yeah,
it
it is.
works.
It's amazing. It is an amazing drug. Like they use it, and urologists use it for incontinence, and it has, and I'm not 100% sure, but like 270 indications, like FDA approved
That it can
indications that they can help with. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you actually that a version of it saved my husband from his stroke. It was called TPA, but it is a similar version. It's all, I mean, I always say it's rat poison.
Right.
That's not true,
No.
but
Right.
I don't know how else to explain it.
Well, it is the protein from the neurotoxin. So it's not, you're not actually getting 100% botulism.
Right.
It's the purified protein form.
That's
and
the word I was looking for.
Systemic. It just stays in the muscle. And then after 3 to 4 months, it just goes away. So it doesn't get in your bloodstream or in your, it's very safe. It's safer than taking a Tylenol. In fact, and I know like in the peds intensive care, we used to give like 500 units of Botox in a little 2-year-old's arm for cerebral palsy. And 500 units, we normally, like on you, would do 50 units. So that's just how,
And that's how much I get.
So it's very safe. There's never been a serious side effect. Like, side effects, like a brow ptosis, a lid ptosis, sure.
Does that mean a tiny
goes
bruise?
away. Bruising, that kind of stuff.
I've had
but
that.
never
Yes, that's what you have
anything
makeup
serious.
for.
Yeah.
I will tell you that after using it the first few times, my dad had Parkinson's, and it's such a huge side effect. The saliva, they can't stop dripping, and it's similar with other diseases too, like ALS, and I've seen little children, and they're covered in, I hate to say it, but slobber. And my dad they started doing the Botox for him at his neurologist's office, and it stopped. And, and that was when he still had his his mind,
right,
and he knew he was salivating all over the place, and it was
tough.
And he'd sit there with his Kleenex, and it was one of those things that just brought some dignity back to him. And so if you do know somebody with, hi Mandy was on here last week with Umpqua Oats.
Hi Mandy.
Hi everybody. It just brought back the dignity for him, that there were so many other things he couldn't do, that was nothing he could control. And I just think it's important for people who have children or parents that are getting elderly and they do have those diseases, to know that this is something. It's not just cosmetic or aesthetic. This can truly help change somebody's life.
For sure. Yeah. If you guys ever need a good neurologist in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area, that is amazing with for Botox for migraines. Message me on Instagram and I can give you information. So
at Sarah Hamilton Face, which I realized we didn't add your Instagram on here, so it's over there, but I will put it in on our stories, and we're gonna go take a peek. Do you think that your room
let's
is
go see.
okay? So let's go and say hi to Jessica. Hi. Okay, here we go.
just make sure there's
Goodbye, pretty room. Isn't it just so serene in here? I love it, and it always smells like some really beautiful candle, which she sells candles too.
And here's Nikki. Nikki is
Hi,
our master
Nikki.
esthetician.
Hi, good. How are you?
Can you give us a little? Yay! Can you give us a sweet?
Oh, did you get a new jacket? Nice. Oh, you're official, Nikki Hart. And I saw you. Did she see what's out there on the desk?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
She got flowers.
Oh yeah, we're just walking
Okay.
in between patients, but I wanted to show you this room. This is our Cyton laser. This is magic. The most amazing I mean, we obviously are a little biased, but we absolutely love the Cyton.
What does it do?
So it's a laser on a different platform for and here's one of our treatment rooms.
That's a beautiful piece of
Isn't that
art.
pretty?
Oh, just so relaxing. You'd want to just come in and sit down and let someone do things to your
This is
face
more
and make
the-
you feel like you're 10 years younger.
And that's it. And I'll show you some of our product lines.
Okay.
So, here are the best sunscreens, our favorite sunscreen, Ilta. Here's our private label line. We love our Mega C BB and Fru. Look, this is the antioxidant I was telling you about. Here's Body Tretinoin, which is amazing for sun damage on the body. So our arms that start showing damage, our knees. Actually, it's really great for our neck and chest because you don't want to do too high of a percentage of of a retinoid on your neck and chest as you do your face.
Because it's so
skin's
thin.
Thinner,
Mhm.
yeah. Some hyaluronic acids are really popular, the more hydrators. This is a really fun Insta.
That is fun.
Yeah, this is an Insta wrinkle eraser.
Oh.
So it lasts about 8 hours. You put it on and you have no lines. It's great for around the eyes.
Is that a secret of the stars?
Yeah.
That sounds like it would be.
And then Skin Better Science is amazing.
I use
Some of our,
this one.
Oh, good. Okay, so
right?
you're on a retinol.
Oh, is it? Okay, I
Retinoid,
don't know.
yeah,
She
at
tells me
night.
what to put on and I do
And
it.
then our Zeo, we love our Zeo. Dr. Abaji that's pretty much where all of our protocols for skincare comes from. Is
Mhm.
Dr. Abaji. He is the anti-aging skincare dermatologist in the Los Angeles area, and this is his line. And it's
People
always
carried that
changing.
for a long time.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
loves that.
It's great, and so we love our skincare products.
I love showing this because this is her daughter, Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
And look at that before and after.
Yeah, that's pretty
She's
cool.
such
That
a
was
pretty
microneedling in skincare. So,
That's amazing.
and then, yeah, we just have a few, and we're looking forward to a second location. And it's kind of
This
like I'm
is
kind of announcing
news.
it, but,
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Details to come.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I'll whisper
Okay.
in your ear.
Okay.
Um,
I'm so
So,
excited.
yeah.
I know a
When
lot
you're
of people
here,
have to
right,
travel
yes.
far to get to Sarah. There are
Yeah.
people that drive hours. I've met a
Some
few,
crazy
yeah.
people.
There, I know. Well, it's worth it. And when's your next open house? Do you
Oh,
know?
November-
Connection. November
November
15th.
15th, we're doing our holiday open house. So.
Oh, Mandy
do-
wants to know if you're going to have a Vegas location.
Oh my gosh, Mandy,
Mandy,
you're so sweet.
you need to grab Sherry and come up
Yeah,
here to Spokane for
ask
the.
Jessica.
No, you.
Travel.
Yeah, Jessica will travel, but you don't. You're not an injector.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll bring Sarah with me.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
you can just invite us down, Mandy, and we'll come down and
that's
hook you
sweet.
girls up. Yeah, she's awesome.
We're
Thank
fine.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Anybody that has other questions, feel free to DM
Yeah.
Sarah. I will put her information. Thanks, Jessica. And thank you so much, friend.
That was so fun. What a
Thank
fun thing for you
you.
to do.
I know. Bye.